Hello my beautiful friends, it's Amanda here, and today we're talking about a new Disney collaboration with ColourPop. This is a Tinkerbell collection, and spoiler alert, I love it. But we will get to my opinions later in the video. Let's start off as usual with all of the info. This collection is launching on the ColourPop site on Thursday, August 26th. Typically, their new launches are available at 10 a.m. Pacific time, so make sure you check your time zone. This probably will eventually be available at Ulta. Most of their collaborations have been making their way to the Ulta site eventually. I haven't seen any official dates on that yet, but I'll try to keep the description box updated for you. I wanted to let you know before we get into the individual products that we do have the prices for all the individuals, and there will be a full collection set that is priced at $85 US. I'm not sure if affiliate codes will work on any pieces in this collection. Typically, if it's not going to work on anything, it's going to be the full collection set because that's usually already pretty deeply discounted. There seems to not really be a standard operating procedure when it comes to using codes on the ColourPop site. It's just really varies from collection to collection. But if you want to, you can use my affiliate code. It's just Amanda in all caps, and that will save you 10% on most items on the ColourPop site. There are some exclusions, so just keep an eye on your totals, and big thank you to everybody who does choose to support the channel in that way. I appreciate you. You are the best. And also follow me on Instagram to see swatches first. Okay, now back to my face. This isn't an overwhelmingly large collection, but there are quite a few pieces, and I want to give you as much close-up detail, swatches, tutorial. I'm going to do palette comparisons. So let's jump in. Let's take a close-up look at all of these products. Let's start with the cheeks. We have 3 Super Shock cheek products. ColourPop has officially announced the prices for these items, but so far they've only posted that the Super Shock cheek trio will be $24 US, so that's for all 3 cheek products. I'm guessing that the individuals are going to be sold for around that $8 or $9 mark. Their standard Super Shock cheeks are $8, so I wouldn't be surprised if these are closer to $9, maybe even more. The collaboration products do tend to be a little bit pricier. And can we just take a moment to appreciate the packaging on this entire collection? Everything from the outer boxes, the cutouts, the custom little pots for everything. I really, really like it. I'm sure that the aesthetics will not apply to everyone, but I think this is so beautifully done. It's so super Tinkerbell. And of course, I'm giving you close-up looks at all of these products. The highlighter, Happy Thoughts, it could also be used as a blush topper. And then there's this bright pink one called Magic Moon. This is one that I'll use in the demo. And I do want to point out that all 3 of these cheek products have a sheen to them. None of these are really glittery. I don't feel like there's little glitter particles on my cheeks, but you'll be able to tell in the swatches here that Happy Thoughts is really the most metallic, and then Magic Moon and Darling are more of a satin meets shimmer. They're a little bit more of a subtle shimmer, but they all will lend a beautiful sheen to the cheeks. We have 2 lippies in this collection, 2 new glossy lip stains. These are a new finish for the glossy lip stains because these both have a little bit of a pearl to them, so they just have a little bit of sparkle. And again, the artwork is just stunning. All the little details with the foiled names printed, the little glitter stars, the wraparound illustration. I can tell that so much love went into these. There's also special components on the glossy lip stains with the little Tinkerbell green lids, shade names on stickers on the bottom. and the same standard little pointed detail type of doe foot applicator that the other glossy lip stains have had. Both of these lip colors are pretty neutral. Clap If You Believe is more of a terracotta nude, and then Tinkerbell is more of like a pinky nude. Tinkerbell is the one I'm wearing throughout the talking portions of the video. I just felt like Clap If You Believe was so similar to others that I wear a lot that I wanted to branch out a little bit. But of course it is beautiful and I love it. I love both of these shades. I am a basic nude kind of girl, so this definitely really floats my boat. And I think you can tell from the lip swatches that that pearl kind of sparkle finish isn't super apparent when these are actually on. Now let's move on to the eye products. We have two cream gel pencil liners. More special packaging all around. I really love what they did with the actual pencils themselves here. Of course, the outer boxes are stunning. These are super collectible. Everything about these products feels very special and intentional. These are the cream gel pencils, same formula we've seen for many years. They will be priced at $8 a piece. And I mean, the detail just all around, the little stars, kind of fairy dust sprinkled around. We do have the color coordinating ends. That way you know which color you're grabbing. And then the shade names are printed just in a little teeny tiny print here on the side. These pencils do need to be sharpened. They are not a twist up, and any standard makeup pencil sharpener will work on these. I have no problem with that. Both shades have some sparkle. Lost Girl, the brown shade, is more glittery, whereas Fly With Me, this deep green, is more of a metallic finish, but they are both shimmery. Next up for the eye products, something I'm always excited to see, we have 3 new Super Shock shadows. Next up we have 3 Super Shock shadows. These are going to be priced at $7 a piece. They have not officially announced the price for the trio yet, but there is this little Believe in Fairies trio that I definitely recommend snagging if you want all 3 shades. And again, just, I know how many times I've said it. This is so beautifully done. I love it. I love that it's not a super cartoony version of Tinkerbell. It's definitely a little bit more mysterious, magical lady type of version. I love it. I love the little moth, butterfly, botanical print motif. It's just very beautiful. Even the inside of the packaging is special. Everything about this collection, you can tell, was just done with so much attention and love. One thing I will say is none of the Super Shock shadows have the finish listed on the back. Typically they say if it's a satin and ultra glitter, a metallic, or whatever it may be. None of these are labeled. I would venture to guess, just based on the texture and the swatches, that these are all ultra glitters because they are very, very glittery. You will see in the swatch that I did, there's tons of shimmer. We are getting a full fairy dust moment. I like all of these shades. They work well with the palette. They make sense within the context of this collection. I think that the green shade called Straight On Till Morning is the most special. The other 2 shades are just a little bit more basic colors that you might already have in your collection. However, I don't think you necessarily need to grab this green Super Shock if you're going to get the palette, because there are so many good green shimmers in the palette. So it may be great to just snag this one green if you're not ready to commit to so much green in the palette. And always last but never least, we have an eyeshadow palette. This is a 9-pan palette. This is called the Sprinkle a Little Magic palette. The artwork on the outer box and the front of the palette itself are exactly the same. It's just the back where the details vary a little bit, because on the back of the outer packaging, we are going to get a look at the ingredients list, which does not exist on the actual palette itself. So I just wanted to point out back here, no eye safety warnings, no pressed glitters. We are not getting any sort of pigment or glitter warning, which you know I love to see it. But I do want to point out that there is carmine listed in several of these shades. So for my vegan friends and for my friends who have a sensitivity to carmine, this palette is probably not the one for you. And I'm sorry to say that. Now let's take a look at the palette itself. Like I said, the same packaging details. This is a cardboard palette with a magnetic closure, and there is a mirror inside. And when we take a look at the shades here, there are 4 mattes in the corners, and then there are 5 shimmer shades. I also want to point out in the background here, right beside Pixie Dust and Neverland, you can see Peter Pan and Tinkerbell leading Wendy and the gang off to Neverland. I love all of these magical little details, all of the shimmery, reflective little stars. This is just so beautifully done. And these are the bigger pans. So here you see it compared to the Nude Mood palette. It is a larger pan size. It's also a larger outer packaging. So do not be alarmed when you get this and it doesn't fit in line with the rest of your 9-pan palettes. This is the same size as the Limoncello palette pans, and it is that similar, heavier, more luxurious feeling packaging as well. So just wanted to point that out for you. Now I want to show you some swatches of this palette. I am going to show you both finger and brush swatches. The finger swatches will be on top, and then each corresponding brush swatch is directly below. As always, for my brush swatches, I'll be using my e.l.f. flat eyeshadow brush, and I'll clean the brush off in between each shade using my Viramono color switch. That way there's no shadow transfer between swatches. And all of these swatches are done directly onto my bare arm. There's no primer. I don't dampen the brush. So let's take a look at the Sprinkle a Little Magic palette swatches now. For the most part, the finger swatches and the brush swatches look almost exactly the same. In the cases where they are a little bit different, like the shade Neverland and that very last one called Awake, the brush swatches are actually better than the finger swatches. I've been using this palette for a little while now, and I have to say that both in swatch and on the eye, the performance is absolutely incredible. I'm very, very happy with both the mattes and the shimmers in this palette. And I just wanted to give you a super close-up look at the textures here too before we move on to some comparisons. I do want to show you just a few comparisons with this palette. I didn't do comparisons with the other stuff. I felt like the Super Shock cheeks, even the liners and the Super Shocks, they were more basic colors with the exception of the bright green Super Shock shadow, this one called Straight On Till Morning. But overall, the rest of the products were pretty basic colors, but I do think this palette is pretty special, pretty unique. It's definitely something a little bit different, especially in the ColourPop family. So I did want to give you some palette comparisons, and then I'll wrap up all my thoughts at the end while I show you a tutorial for this look. That way you can see these products in action, and I can give you all my thoughts at the same time, and we can kind of keep this video hopefully a little bit shorter, so you know how much I love to ramble. So let's take a look at those comparisons now. I'm going to show you 8 different palette comparisons in this video today, and no matter what I choose, I'm sure there's always something that somebody else wants to see, but believe it or not, these comparisons do take quite a while, and I also don't own every palette under the sun. So I just chose the ones that I thought were going to be the most requested and the most relevant. And if I missed your palette that you were wanting to see, then I definitely apologize. I wish that I could just do swatches all day long and that I had the time and the fortitude of arm skin to make that happen. But I did try to do my best to give you the most relevant comparisons. Hopefully these comparisons are useful to you, and I'm going to give my voice a little bit of a break and play a little background music for you for the rest of these, and then I will be back with all my thoughts at the end. now that you've seen all the swatches, close-ups, comparisons, we're gonna jump into a little product demo using a bunch of the products from this Tinkerbell collection. And instead of voicing over what I'm doing, because you pretty much already know what I'm doing, I'm not doing anything too crazy, it's not gonna be too technical. I'm gonna give you all my thoughts on these products and this collection as we walk through the tutorial. You know, two birds with one stone and all that. So let's get into the demo now. I'm gonna cut right to the chase. I love this collection. I think this is one of the most beautifully done collaborations that I've seen in a long time, and not just from ColourPop, but just in general. I love every single detail, from the packaging, the formulas they chose, the shades they chose. I love that the Super Shock cheeks are in here. It's one of my favorite formulas from ColourPop. It works on a lot of different skin tones and skin types, so I'm always happy to see that. And I do think these shades are gonna work pretty well across a lot of different skin tones. The highlighter may be a little bit light, but the blushes for sure are going to work on a lot of different skin tones. You can wear them more sheared out for very pale and light skin tones, and they're going to beautifully suit medium skin tones on their own, and then you can build them up for deeper skin tones. So I love the cheeks. Well done, beautifully done. Formulas, packaging, everything. Now, I'm not huge on eyeliner, so I don't really have a whole lot to say about those, but you know I love Super Shock shadows. You know I love my ColourPop palettes. I think the formula is just stunning here across the board. It really, really reminds me of the Limoncello palette. I don't know if the formulation is different for these bigger pan palettes, but so far my experience has been just absolutely fantastic with these. So I have to say I enjoy this, not just the packaging, not just the formulas, but the colors. I'm so glad that this came out now when I'm in my own personal little green renaissance, and I have finally discovered and admitted my love for green eyeshadow. So I just feel like top to bottom, everything about this palette, every little detail, every shade, it just works so well for a Tinkerbell collection. I'm glad they didn't shy away from the green and really leaned into so much green and every different shade of green in here. I love it. I think it's beautiful. And I also love the glossy lip stains. This has been a favorite formula of mine since it came out. I'm hooked. I was a little nervous about the pearl formulation with a little bit of sparkle, but I just find them to be as stunning, as wearable, as comfortable as the previously released glossy lip stains. My only thing that I would have changed for this collection, I would have loved to see a brush set with this one. They did a brush set with the Limoncello collection, and I thought that was such a great move. I love ColourPop brushes, and I think that doing the little special extras, they've done quite a few handheld mirrors. I would have loved to see a special Tinkerbell brush set, but other than that, I love it from top to bottom. Recommend every single thing that you're interested in. Now's the time when I want to hear what you think about this collection. Are you interested? Is this going on your wish list? What do you think about these products, the packaging, the colors, the themes? I always love to hear what you think about things too, even if we have different opinions, even if we have different experiences. I always love to hear what your thoughts are too. So make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Oh, of course. I dropped everything. That might help. Great. Okay. All right. I'm fine. Shoot, I just read it. Huh? Hello? You got it? Got it? Got it? Good. Bet you didn't expect me to just go straight in with that bright green, huh? I almost didn't. I almost went for these and kind of kept it a little bit deeper, more foresty, but you know what? Might as well just go all out. Just all the greens. Just every single green. What? Lit. It's sprinkle it. I imagine like the salt meme guy, but with fairy dust. Wow. Even the liners in the super shop. Okay, honestly, honey, I'm working. Stop texting me. You're such a peach. Thanks for watching. You're just so precious. You're just so cute and fun to hang out with. And thanks for bringing your face to this channel, because you know what? I love your face. Okay, bye.